Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about American history. Pops. So I'm going to show you the American history pops that have been released. I got some Target exclusives that have not been released yet, but they accidentally put them on the shelf. And I picked them up. The only one I'm missing is a Target exclusive ride where it's, I'm going to look up on my phone. I think it's, I don't want to say who it is yet. It is Crossing the Delaware. So that's what it looks like. That's a Target exclusive. That one has not dropped yet. At least it wasn't at Target when I picked up all of the other Target exclusive pops. Before I show you that, let me tell you something else. I saw a box. It was a very long shaped box, about like that, and it's long shaped. And it was a t-shirt in a pop box. So the pop was going to be sitting sideways with the t-shirt. And it was from Dustin, Target exclusive Stranger Things. So they actually had those on the shelf. I tried to buy one. It had a street date, just like the Abraham Lincoln, Rosie the Riveter, thank you, and Uncle Sam. So, however, those scanned without anything. And the other one, the Dustin Stranger Things, did scan as a street date. Even though these three that I picked up are street dated, they're not supposed to be dropped. I was hoping all of them were going to go through. All of them did except for Dustin and the t-shirt. But that is a Stranger Things Target exclusive that was on the shelf. Now I had it in my hands, but they pulled it from me. So I think that one's being released, if not this weekend, next week for sure. So anyways, let me get into it. So the two presidents on the back, we have George Washington and Abraham Lincoln. So George Washington is available to pick up right now in stores. So I picked up George, looking dapper. So again, he's a common, so I was able to pick him up quite easily. And I didn't pick these up today. I picked these up about 2 weeks ago. I'm just getting to them now. So we got Abraham Lincoln. That is the Target exclusive that hasn't dropped yet, but somebody accidentally put them on the shelf and they did not scan with a street date, even though they are street dated and they were out early. So these should be out in a few weeks, but I got my hands on them early, so that completes that set right there in the back. Then we got Benjamin Franklin. He's been out too, so you can go pick him up at anywhere they sell pops, if they carry him online or in stores. But he's a common as well, so he's been out for a while. But you got Benjamin Franklin there with a kite. American History Pop, that's what it looks like on the back. Really cool Funko Pop. So this is the American History line. Let me straighten my tie up. There we go. American History line. Then we got Uncle Sam. Really cool Funko Pop. And then the famous I Want You for the U.S. Army in the back. Nearest recruiting station. So that was the recruiting poster for the military, at least for the Army. So Uncle Sam, there he is. Really cool. Target exclusive. Got lucky. Rosie the Riveter. This is the one everyone's after right now. Everybody out of this entire line, this is the one that if you're not going to collect this line, this is the one people are talking about. Rosie the Riveter. So I think I said the story before, but I'll just touch on it very briefly. The story of Rosie the Riveter, how this all came to be. In case you don't know, I'll give you a short history lesson because I'm a history major. And I do have a degree in history, a bachelor's degree. So, I know, I love history. But, who would have thunk it? So, in World War II, when the United States finally got involved in the war, a lot of the men in most places went over to fight. So, that left all these job openings in factories building parts for tanks and bullets and machine guns and all the weapons that, whether it's vehicles, military vehicles, tires. There was they were asking you to not burn tires, to recycle tires, to watch. It was just, everything was for the war effort. So what ended up happening was when I say they, companies started to let women in to the factories where the men were holding those jobs, but the men were out fighting in World War II here in America. So the women, for the first time, were in factories. Like, I'm not talking like one or two women, I'm talking like in full force. Women were the ones getting everything ready, the bullets, everything in the factories to be shipped over to help the United States military, all the branches, into this war. So those jobs that were taken by men, that were usually considered a man's job, were now done by women. And it opened up a lot of eyes, because everyone thought this is a man's job, only men can do this, a woman couldn't do this job. But a lot of these companies didn't have a choice, because all the men were gone. Not all, but most men were gone, at least the ones of age were fighting. And so the women went into these factories and absolutely dominated, and showed that they can do just as good as the men could do, if not better. And it was a huge success. So a famous magazine, I think I've mentioned this before, but I always use it as a reference because it's a great example. If you look at Good Housekeeping magazine in the 30s, in the 40s, you'll see usually it's the man walking home with the briefcase with a suit on. The woman's always in the kitchen. She's always wearing an apron. She's always smiling like she has the best life in the world, and she's always in the kitchen. Kind of where that phrase came from, barefoot pregnant in the kitchen. Not necessarily barefoot or pregnant, but you always see the women in the house, Good Housekeeping, in the kitchen. They were next to the stove smiling, or they were like welcoming their husband in, but they were always somewhere around the kitchen or in the kitchen, and always with an apron on, like baking cookies or whatever. And that was the image of women. Like, women were supposed to, quote unquote, supposed to stay at home and take care of the house and take care of the children, take care of the man when he comes home. And the man went out and did all the hard work. Well, women weren't given necessarily an opportunity to showcase what they can really do. In World War II, when that came available, they showcased it and they kicked some ass. And so Rosie the Riveter came around, this iconic image, and we can do it. Meaning that women don't have to be in the kitchen. They don't have to have an apron on. They can go out there and do the same job men can do. And they proved it. So that's where this came from. We can do it. And showing how strong they were. That women are just as strong as men. And so it's just for equality. And this was for me, a great part of American history that I love talking about, because it's really kind of an evolution. And since then, if you look at Good Housekeeping magazines before World War II and after World War II, you're going to see a huge difference where the women are placed in the magazine. They're not as much placed in the kitchen. They're doing other things. It's just, that was kind of, Good Housekeeping was just kind of like it's a great magazine, but it shows kind of like what the woman's image was before World War II, during and after World War II, and it's phenomenal to look at that stuff. So, anyways, you didn't come here for a history lesson. You came here for these pops. So this is the collection. The only one I'm missing, again, is Crossing the Delaware. I can't wait for that one to drop. I did pick up Winnie the Pooh. This was a re-release, so it's at Target. Hot Topic. I found this in the store. They do have it online at hottopic.com. So make sure you go pick them up if you want an extra one. So I didn't pick him up the first round. I don't believe I did. I don't remember picking him up. I have the Diamond series, but I don't have the Flock, so I ended up picking up one. But they are available while supplies last online. It was a restock. This came in as part of the Molten Man series that I'm collecting. I pre-ordered the entire set, so Wonder Woman, Superwoman, Spider-Woman, darn it! Spider-Woman! There's so many Spider-Woman, Wonder Woman, everything. Women, dominating. That's what it looks like in the back. Super cool. I love these Marvel Legends. The only thing about this one, and I put it on Instagram, is that piece of Molten Man is enormous compared to Spider-Woman. She looks so small in the box. But but this is from the Molten Man Wave. So I have pre-ordered all of them, and I already have a couple of them that already came in that I showed on a prior video, also up on my Instagram. Last but not least, when I was at Target, I picked up this sweet baby. $29.99, pretty awesome. This is the Dancing Clown, although he doesn't really dance in here, but the Dancing Clown. And we have Pennywise. So, yep. So you got, I'm going to cut it and get a zoom in here. So you have the classic version with his jaw all the way open, and then you have another one with hands coming out of his mouth, if you see that headpiece right there. I'm trying to get a good angle for you. But he's got the spider claws. And yeah, so this was $29.99. Really cool. It's not a Target exclusive, but picked it up at Target. Thought it was really cool. So this is the version, that's one of his heads. The head that opens up with all the teeth in there. So that's, you know, that was one of the heads in there. And then the other one had his mouth open, but hands were coming out of his mouth. So, really cool piece. Guys, that wraps up the video. I just wanted to show you the American History Pops that are out. These are really cool. Had to have them in my collection because I'm a history major and I love history. Not just U.S. history, but world history. All sorts of history I love. So, and I love learning. I'm always reading books and always wanting and needing, not just wanting, but needing to learn more and more and more. And as time changes, history changes, meaning that some of the things we thought about history, sometimes some of that is getting rewritten. So sometimes history isn't set in stone. Sometimes history gets rewritten as we find more developments and things like that, of things that we thought that occurred, or things that we thought happened this way really happened another way. So history always changes, which is kind of interesting if you think about it. But that's all we got for this video, guys. Thank you for watching. I got more videos coming, so please stay tuned. Please be kind to one another. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you guys on the next video. San Diego Comic-Con's coming. Woo! Those are going to be some crazy videos coming. You've already seen the Pops, but I'm going to talk about them too. So those videos will be coming, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.